You're listening to PlayStation Unchained.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 82 of PlayStation Unchained. I'm your co-host for today, Mike Carradence, and joining me is my co-host, as always, Ben Shilbeer Hall. How's it going, Ben?
Not too bad, thank you. It's good to have you on. You're not going out to get pissed tonight, then? Like the last few weeks?
No, I wasn't actually going out getting drunk. I was at a barbecue last week for my mate's birthday, and we were just out like chatting and stuff and playing games, so that was cool. And I was on holiday a couple of weeks before that, so yeah, it's been a while since I've been on a podcast. I think it must be a month, I reckon, which is just crazy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and that voice, in case you haven't guessed, that's Neil Bolt. How's it going, Neil?
Hello, I'm wonderful, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm here with my nice glass of cider, cold and pretty refreshed.
Nice. What's the weather like where you are? I know Ben said it's really hot where he is. Same here. How about you?
Yeah, it's a good 21 degrees it's been today, so it's not been too bad. It's
cool.
Not been overbearing.
Yeah, no.
I'm very much a thunder and lightning and rain everywhere sort of guy. I don't like heat at all.
I don't mind the heat. I've got used to it, but working out in the heat is just crazy. That's it. Yeah. But there we go. I'm mad and I like to train still, so nothing stops me. I have to be very, very ill to not train or not lift a weight or something. But yeah. Anyway, guys, it's good to have you back. Well, actually, no. What am I about? It's good for me to be back, and it's good to talk to you again. Yeah, you guys have been here for like the last month. You ain't gone nowhere.
We were talking about just before we came on, trying to negotiate having Return of the Mac play just before we started. But licensing issues mean we couldn't do that. So.
Yeah, but we can still sing it.
Yes.
Return of
the Mac. Once again.
I wasn't going to say it. I thought I'd let you do it. I just can't put it off.
There you go. Don't sue us, Mark Morrison. We know you don't have much money, but...
Sweet. Well, how about we just kick off with some news first, guys, then, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we'll start off with a story from last Monday. It's not really a big story, but I just thought it was quite cool because this game looks good. It's Until Dawn, which has been rated by the ESRB, which is America's ratings body. Details on Until Dawn dropped from the game's ESRB rating. Now, this includes, funnily enough, lots of swearing, sexual themes, and dismemberment. Yes, this game is looking really cool, actually. I'm really, really excited by this. I'll just read you out a small quote from the actual rating itself. This is a survival horror adventure game in which players help 8 friends survive a serial killer at a mountain retreat. As players progress through the game, they explore the fully interactive environments, choosing a variety of action decision paths via on-screen prompts. Some choices can lead to depictions of intense violence and or gore, characters shot in the head, characters cut in half by a saw blade, characters disemboweled or decapitated by a creature. Note the word creature, sounds intriguing. A character is forced to cut off segments of his fingers. There's some quotes here as well. I quote, "Let's party like we're effing porn stars and make this one trip we will never forget." And I mean, if you're not going to bang her, maybe Mike could take up the case. A character looking at various sexual positions in the Kama Sutra book. A woman performing a striptease for a man, removing her clothes down to her undergarments for words. Beep, beep, beep are heard in dialogue. Can't really think. You get the idea.
Oh, my.
But yeah, this is definitely living up to its kind of teen horror roots, so to speak. So yeah, guys, we mentioned this before a few times, but I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm a big fan of the kind of like teen slasher horror films. I love the Scream films, for example, or the Friday the 13th ones, things like that. What do you guys think? Is it sounding pretty cool so far, do you reckon? Let's start with Neil.
Yeah, it's sounding like a proper Saturday night takeaway of a film made into a game. It's just delightfully dirty, cheap, and guilty pleasure sort of thing. I love the idea. I mean, hopefully I'll be the one reviewing it. As I think it's the end of August, isn't it? Which is, in personal terms, a bit of a tricky time with the birth of a second child around that time. So may not get to yet. So.
Yeah, just the small problem of a child being born, yeah.
Yes. That's why I'm just fitting all these reviews in early, get them all out of the way. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think it'll be any major classic or anything, but it'll do what it's supposed to do.
Do what it says on the tin, eh?
That's it, yeah.
Exactly. It does what it says on the tin, mate.
Until dawn. That's how long you've got to survive.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to the fact that it has like multiple like choices and stuff. So hopefully, in theory, it should have a lot of replay value.
Yeah, I mean they use their thing is basically called the butterfly effect. So yeah, changing tiny things can change and make bigger things happen. So,
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be the hope.
Yeah, totally, man. Cool. Well, that's Until Dawn from Neil's point of view. Ben, how about you? Are you looking forward to this? What do you think of the details there that drop from the rating?
It looks like fun. I'm not sure if I'll get it yet anyway because I have too many games to buy. But yeah.
Cool. So maybe later then, yeah, for you.
Oh yeah, a little bit later.
Cool. Okay. Let's move on. I won't stop on this one too much, but it's interesting that Rise of the Tomb Raider PS4 has been listed on an Australian retailer. Not much more to say about that. This game we know has a timed exclusivity on Xbox One and Xbox 360 for holiday 2015. Everyone's pretty much resigned to the fact that it will come out on PS4 eventually. Probably not until a year after the Xbox version. Although why it's popping up on a retail site already is anyone's guess. Just quickly, guys, when do you reckon we'll see Tomb Raider on PS4 or Rise of the Tomb Raider? Should I say?
Summer 2016.
Yeah, I'd pretty much go with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not correct. They won't save it for next Christmas next year then.
No, it won't be as much an event, and so they'll just put it in somewhere where it's quiet and they know people will want to play it. And so yeah, I don't see them making a big deal of it coming to PlayStation.
Cool. Plus, of course, we got Uncharted 4 in spring as well, so that's taking up all the attention as far as Avenged fans go.
So I'd say probably July, so this time next year.
That'd be sweet. Good summer game.
I don't know, July. That seems a bit early. I want to say August. Because that way they'll have all the DLC out and done, and we'll get the edition in August with all the DLC plus edition or whatever.
Possibly. The other thing I think is that if Microsoft have paid the money up front for basically fund it and make sure they're safe to make the game, they're not really going to care when they release it so much. So maybe they won't wait too long. But it really depends on what sort of contract they signed on that.
Well, we'll find out next year. So hopefully in just over a year's time or whatever, we'll be able to look back on this podcast and see who was right. For the record, I reckon it'll be fall. You guys say it'll be summer. So we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on now to Project Morpheus. Sony has said that it's too early to announce the price for Project Morpheus. This is during an interview with Shuhei Yoshida, who is president of Sony Computer Entertainment Worldwide Studios, speaking with GamesIndustry.biz on the subject of the price. I quote, "We are talking about launching next year, so typically we don't talk about pricing 1 year ahead of time. I think we announced the price of PS4 at E3 the year of the launch, so that's 5 months before the launch. So it's too early. It's not like we are waiting for Oculus to announce their price. We still have work to do to know exactly the costs of the goods and so on." So yeah, that's Project Morpheus. They've said I think it's first half of 2016 it's coming out. So yeah, quite a way to go yet. How do you guys feel about that? Do you reckon? Are you surprised about this, or would you think? Would they have? Do you think they should have announced the price by now, or are you not surprised they haven't? Neil, what do you reckon?
No, I think they're waiting to see what some of the competition do. Price-wise, give them a bit of a leg up because it's been one of the biggest bugbears of Sony's many things over the years. Is that they come out with a price and it's usually too much, but if they have a little heads up, they work it around and make something a bit more agreeable to sort of keep competitive, and I think that's what they're going for. I think they learned that lesson with the PS4, that seeing Microsoft launch at $399 and then taking 50 off that straight away and saying there you go, but get in, undercut the competition and sort of make yours the one that people want to try first.
Certainly had a better launch than the PS3 did. $599.
Yeah, well, I bought it.
Yeah, I bought one as well.
I bought a launch model as well for PS3, but there we go. But yeah, that was one costly console. That was, blimey. They definitely nailed it with PS4 though.
You know what? I feel like I got my money out of it. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ben, what about same question to you about Morpheus?
I think they're just waiting, to be honest. I don't see the rush. It's not until next year anyway, so.
Yeah.
I think they want a bigger catalogue of things to show off when they do announce it properly as well. Just say, here you go, there's this big game that will use it, there's this big game that will use it, here's a bunch of games especially made for it, like that. And so they can just, not have the problem they have with Vita, basically, where it's like, here's your initial lot, we got nothing after that, basically.
Yeah, and still nothing.
If they say No Man's Sky is VR, then that will be day one.
Yeah, well, that's me gone for the year. So it's going to be sad.
I can't wait to see some good horror games for that. I reckon that'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, just going back, it's like people experimented with Oculus Rift with Alien Isolation last year.
All right.
Said it was just almost unbearable how terrifying it could be. There's a lot of talk out of E3 of that Capcom game Kitchen that was on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As well, and apparently it's absolutely awfully terrifying.
What's it all about exactly?
I don't know. No one will say. This is it, and apparently you just can't describe it. It has to be seen properly.
Seen to be believed.
Yeah, it's big secret.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope it's not going to be too expensive, but we'll just have to wait and see. We have a new PS4 model announced to coincide with the launch of, Neil will probably be thrilled at this, of Destiny the Taken King. This is a Destiny-themed PS4 that comes packaged with the new release of the re-release of Destiny, which includes the Taken King. It's going to be coming out on September 15th. There's also another bundle. This one I just mentioned is a white one. Looks rather nice, I have to say. There's a second one, however, that features a jet black 500 gig PS4 and a copy of Destiny: The Taken King Legendary Edition. These will be coming out again, as I said, for the launch of The Taken King on September 15th. For those of you who don't know, The Taken King is the third expansion for Destiny, although it's significantly larger than the other two that were released. It's a bunch of new content in there, including new subclasses for Guardians, among other things, and new raids and new strikes as well. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to buy the console because I've already got a PS4, but it does look really, really cool. I can imagine people will be people who want to go on to jump onto next gen will be tempted by this. Destiny, regardless of what you think about it, is pretty popular. So there we go. But yeah, Ben, what do you think about this?
I think it's pretty cool. I like the look of it. I wish if I didn't have a PS4 to get it. I don't even know I have a PS4. I'm tempted to get it.
Wow, really?
Well, I'm buying the collector's edition of Destiny, so
that's true.
That means I'm buying the game again as well. So I might as well buy a PS4. Carry on with the buying the same thing over again.
Now that's commitment.
You know about that whole issue with Destiny collector's edition, right? Comes with Destiny and the two expansion packs, but you can't buy the collector's edition without it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I must have missed the memo on that.
Yeah. Don't worry, we gave it a good kicking. So.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you enjoyed it as well, Neil.
Oh no! Don't bring up my bias against Destiny.
So, well, I'm gonna have to ask you, what do you think of that story there, Neil? Just quickly. We are on the time limit.
It's a lovely looking console, but yeah, it's totally unnecessary.
Cool. I think that sums it up nicely. Let's move on to something different here. Another game. This is Zombie, rated for Xbox One and PS4. This is, of course, this is the current generation port of Wii U. Well, I suppose they're the same generation, but PS4 and Xbox One port of Zombie U, which was out on Wii U for launch. It's been rumoured for a couple of months. It looks like it's actually happening now. It's cropped up. It was previously outed on the Australian's ratings board, and it's now come up on a ratings board in Taiwan. So it looks like it's only a matter of time until Ubisoft announces this. I haven't actually played the game, but it's definitely one that's got my interest. Zombie outbreak in London, which is nice because usually you typically set zombie apocalypses in America. So it seems really cool. Good survival horror elements in it. Quite good with atmosphere as well, apparently, from what I've read. So yeah, I reckon I'll pick this up when it comes out. Guys, Neil, how about you? What do you reckon? You interested in this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just said before, it's one of the games I was quite interested in on Wii U, and it's a really good concept. I think we were mentioning the other week about the fact that it heavily incorporates the tablet that comes with the Wii U.
Yes.
It would probably end up using some sort of phone app to sort of compensate for that. In both, because the Xbox doesn't really have a handheld console to sort of compensate for that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the other way. If they're not going to go that way, then it kind of takes a little of the, its own edge off it. If they don't have that sort of second screen stuff, because the beauty of it is that you're looking at the second screen to do little puzzle things like to help unlock doors and whatever, whilst having to keep looking up at the main screen to see that you're not getting, people coming in on you, zombies and stuff, and that's it. And it creates a great little tension. So yeah, I don't know, you'd probably lose a little bit of that if you didn't have that. So hopefully that's the way they go.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It'd be interesting to see what they do. How about you, Ben?
It does look good. I was tempted to buy it for the Wii U if I got a Wii U, so now I can play it on the PS4.
Yep. Best of both worlds. So do you reckon you're going to get it?
Yeah, I will be getting that.
Sweet. Sounds good to me. Cool. I hope... actually, I was kind of surprised it wasn't announced at E3, but there we go. Hopefully it won't be too long. Next up, guys. Metal Gear Solid 5 producer shoots down visual downgrade woes. This was... it's apparently from the recent E3 demo, or rather the extended one. People have been claiming that the game doesn't look as good. We've all heard this kind of stuff before. It always seems to come up, oh no, the game doesn't look as good as it did at E3 such and such ago or whatever. We've heard that with Watch Dogs and various other things. But apparently no, this is not the case, according to someone who I'm going to butcher his name completely, the game's producer Kenichiro Imazumi. Hope I got that right. I apologise if I didn't. He says on Twitter, if you know the game-making process, we normally don't change or downgrade in this phrase. Always have to... Well, okay, this is obviously... English obviously isn't his first language. Always have to be comes first. That's how he wrote it. We don't change grade system in last phase. It has to... Bloody hell. It's like... I'll try and translate what he's saying. It has to be done a long, long time ago. It should just be lighting tuning. That's... The gist is they haven't done it. If they were going to do it, it would have happened a lot sooner in the development process, and that's not the case at all. So, no, Metal Gear Solid 5 has not received any kind of visual downgrade. I, to be honest, hadn't noticed at all that it was looking apparently slightly worse for wear. I think it still looks fantastic. I don't know. You always get these people who kind of scrutinise these things. I don't know why they even bother. It's just picking out all this kind of stuff, man. It's just, just enjoy the game, But yeah, did any of you guys notice anything at all about the game from a visual point of view, thinking it had been downgraded? Neil?
No, not at all. It's like the engine's already out there. It's been shown. It's ground zeros. So it looks pretty. It's maybe it's the difference of environment that it's such a sandy place, and I just can't see where they're coming from on it. To be honest, it's
quite literally is a sandbox.
Yeah, it's literally a giant sandbox. And yeah, I'm baffled as to where they're getting it from. And you get these people that moan about a couple of frames per second difference and things. So
yeah, it's usually PC elitists.
It's like, oh look, that texture has one less grain of sand.
Yeah,
last week I'm sure of it.
That shadow has clipped that wall by about 5 centimeters. Yeah.
And it's like shut up, have fun. It's video games.
Yeah, exactly. Ben, how about you?
Oh no! No, he's got one less hair in his beard now! Oh no!
I don't know, that might bother me.
No, I don't see any difference, really. It looks good. It's going to play good. It's going to cost me a lot because the microtransaction's good. But still!
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm still keeping my £100 deposit down.
Awesome. Oh, I've been looking forward to reading out this next story just because I love the title. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 limited edition features a fridge.
This is only the second best Call of Duty Black Ops 3 headline of the week.
Yeah.
I kind of want this.
Activision has lifted the lid on its. This is by Simon Sayers, by the way. Activision has lifted the lid on its upcoming limited edition of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and it comes packaged with a rather bizarre collector's item. This is for $289.99. So yeah, God knows what that translates into squids.
Oh well, I'm gonna say because of tax, stupidity, Call of Duty pricing, we're looking at move the numbers, move that number to there, move the one to the thing, to add a pie. No, £289 probably.
Oh, okay. Right. Where you were going with it. The contents is a collectible steelbook case with game, season pass, the giant zombies in-game map, free personalization packs, official game soundtrack as DLC, Perca-Cola coasters with custom tin, and a fully functional fridge which holds 12 times 12 ounce cans. Wow. That is built for the yeah. That's I don't know why, but I don't want to. No. I was going to say something there, and I really don't want to offend people. It just sounds very American.
Yeah,
America.
A fridge, a mini fridge. I can just picture a guy sitting on his couch playing Call of Duty with his fridge next to him.
Way.
radioactive coloured energy drinks.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about my flat? my main fridge is in my front room next to my chair.
I was just saying what I could see. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, even though it's absurd, it's ridiculously cool as well, and absurd and slightly ostentatious as well. Has there ever been anything like this before? I know they tend to go all out with these. They had goggles in one of them, fully functional goggles. They ever had
night vision goggles to a fridge to what? An egg whisk in 2020.
No, I want to say something, but I know I'll get. This might need to be censored out, Kevin. But they need to give away a wanky whisk. That'd be perfect.
Oh my word!
Look on YouTube for some. Oh, what's his name? I'm gonna have to give you a link afterwards. He calls it the wanky whisk because it's a whisk where you go up and down with it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
They need to give that away with Call of Duty next.
Oh god! Wait, it's someone correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they give away a remote control helicopter as well with it, like a toy helicopter?
Oh, was it an RC car?
I thought it was. Yeah, there was a spy drone as well, wasn't there? I think.
Yeah, or maybe it was a drone, not a helicopter. I can't remember. I know it was something that flew and you could control it. Oh, whatever it was, just crazy though. That is that's certainly points for kind of like wow.
Look at your audience.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just taking my contact lenses out there. Had in the middle day. That's better. Now I've got my glasses on. Yeah, so that's the Call of Duty. Well, I have to ask. This begs the question: is anyone going to get it?
I kind of want it.
You kind of want it.
Yeah.
That translates to I will get it.
No, I want it, but I know I won't be able to afford it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, you could go for the Just Cause 3 edition, collector's edition, which has a replica grappling hook.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
miniature
cool.
One, isn't it, though?
Yeah, that's for $79.99. So yeah, that's slightly more down to earth, so to speak. But yeah, it's not a fridge, but it's a grappling hook. So,
you missed the real selling point of Black Ops 3 this year, to be honest. Which is probably the next story you're going to tell, isn't it?
I have a feeling what you're talking about, so you may as well read it out. Or go for it.
It's just because it's my favourite story of the week. Seriously. The fact that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies mode has Jeff Goldblum in it.
Yes.
That's not the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and Ron Perlman.
Yeah, and Ron Perlman.
So Hellboy's in it. Yeah.
That's it. As they got 1940s film noir storyline featuring a star-studded cast It includes Jeff Goldblum, as we said, Heather Graham, Neil McDonough, I don't know who he is, Ron Perlman, and Robert Picardo, again, I don't know who he is. But keeping with the setting of the game, players will have access to a variety of old-school weapons, though a few modern variations will be featured. Gamers will be able to purchase upgrades from the Pack-a-Punch machine as they battle against legions of zombies and other mutated monstrosities as they are instructed by the mysterious figure known as the Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man, yes. Yeah, that's the new zombies.
That's it. That's the closest I even considered getting a Call of Duty in years, is the fact that Jeff Goldblum's in Call of Duty.
Day one.
Almost.
I was almost tempted with the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar in it.
Yeah, it's like my hand started doing that thing from Evil Dead where it just starts possessing itself like it's going to go and order it online.
Hey, I've already pre-ordered my copy of Black Ops.
I'm with Neil on this one. I was just assuming you haven't bought a Call of Duty in a while, Neil, from what you said. I haven't bought one since Modern Warfare 3 was my last one, so that's nearly 5 years ago. I think it was 2000.
The original Black Ops was my last outright buy.
Oh, right, so you
rented Ghosts. Yeah, I rented Ghosts, and that pretty much set me back to square one.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know what it is about Call of Duty. I don't dislike them. It's when I don't just outright dislike them. Obviously, I bought the early ones and stuff, but I'm not sure what doesn't compel me to come back. I think they just, to be honest, they're fun to play because I played Advanced Warfare at a preview thing last year and it was fun, the multiplayer was, but I don't know what it is. I think it's just that I'm kind of sick of a futuristic setting and kind of like the kind of like unrealistic sort of, bombastic kind of set pieces they go for. I wish they'd take it back to how it used to be when they had the gritty kind of World War II setting.
Yeah, I was saying to Kevin earlier that that's when they start running out of money that they'll do that. That'll be their reboot. That'll be their reboot savior.
Yeah, because those Call of Duty 2 and World at War are my favourites, and Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare. But I love all. I reckon. I've said this before, but I really stand by this. I don't care. I reckon if they tried, they could do a killer World War II game, a really gritty, down to earth, realistic World War II shooter. World War I shooter. I reckon that would be great.
I think they're going to have to at some point because they're getting further and further into the future at this point.
Yeah, no one's done World War One, have they? At least not for a while. That's pretty much.
No, there was a game. I can't remember the name of it that actually did do it, but it's just because it's not like World War Two, where there's so many more skirmishes that are adaptable to video games. It's not being in the trenches. It's all Blackadder goes forth basically. Depressing trench life.
Yeah, I think the trenches thing could be pretty cool if they did it somehow. I mean, maybe not just foot soldiers. They could, because there was still quite a lot of. They were still on horseback in World War One at some point. So, anyway, but there we go. So that's the new zombies in Call of Duty 3, Black Ops 3. The zombies thing as well, man. I mean, when did zombies come about? What the hell? How did that come into Call of Duty?
World at War did it first.
Nazi zombies, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's just gone from there. There's Treyarch's thing, so because Treyarch did World at War and they do the Black Ops series too.
Oh, of course, yeah. So it's not zombies hasn't gone into Infinity Ward or anything like that. Then
no, they had last year was an alien infestation sort of game, wasn't it?
Yeah, aliens.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much, it was the same thing, but
what I want now? I want now that because we've got Jeff Goldblum in the new Call of Duty, I want a zombie dinosaur.
A zombie dinosaur,
just as a reference to Jurassic Park.
To be honest, just because it, or like a zombie fly man thing.
Or maybe an alien spaceship.
Shoot it! Shoot him!
But the thing is, I've had my fill of Jeff Goldblum in video game form this year in Jurassic World, so because all his dialogue's there from the first two films.
Oh, great!
So do I need any more? No.
Yes.
You can never have enough Jeff Goldblum.
I love in that game though. They just constantly take the mick out of that shirtless pose he does. Just every cutscene, he's just pulling poses. It's awesome.
Oh, it's great. Well, let's just wrap up with one more story. There's one I'd like to do, but it's not actually the bigger of the two stories, so I'll go for the bigger of the two stories. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End will feature Robin Atkin Downes. His role has not been confirmed yet, but he himself has said he's in the game on Twitter. It's significant because, well, apart from being Robin Atkin Downes, bloody good voice actor, he's appeared in every Uncharted game since day one. He played Navarro in Drake's Fortune, Tenzin in Among Thieves, Talbot in Drake's Deception, and Perez in Golden Abyss. So it only seems right that he's going to be here for the final one. I doubt very much he's going to be a returning character, though, because I'm pretty sure... well, he could... Tenzin didn't die, he could be in that, but everyone else kicked the bucket.
He's a pretty adaptable voice actor. I mean, apart from his stock voice, but... Yeah, he's good. And it's also links another two Metal Gear Phantom Pain characters together as well, because he plays Kazura Miller, and Troy Baker, who's obviously playing Nate's brother, is playing Ocelot. So,
yes, awesome. That's pretty cool.
Come on, give these other voice actors some job, guys.
Yeah, totally. First Nolan North, now Troy Baker. Ben, what do you think about that?
Pretty good. And yeah, just pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't even know he was in the old ones, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in all of them, I have to admit. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Sweet. Well, that's the news. Actually, I'm kind of glad we're moving on to this next bit now because for some reason my throat's drying out. Neil, I believe you have a few things to do.
Yeah.
Should I say? Take it away.
So, well, I'm going to have to use the title of this feature now because Ben made it happen last week. So.
So it's time for Bantering with Bolt.
There you go. Thank you, Ben. It's like that. From now on, that's it. You intro like that. Okay, this week's topic is trophies. Some hate them, some see them as pointless. Others love the challenge and believe that they put more worth in some games. We asked our good old fans on Facebook, where do you stand? If you like them, what's the trophy or trophies that you're most proud of getting? We've got a fair few responses this week because our dear Adam Byrne put this question up for us early in the week. So I'll just pick a few select ones and then we'll talk about it. Alex Thompson says, I typically don't pay attention to trophies unless I notice that I'm already well on my way to getting one. Then I might put out the extra effort to finish getting it. One of the only times I intentionally went for a trophy was getting the platinum on Demon's Souls. You can understand that. Loved the game, and the huge amount of work getting the plat wasn't a chore for me. Which is totally understandable. I pretty much come from that mindset. Victor Lopez says, the trophy list is the first thing I look at before I start a game, like getting a game plan together. Although some games just flat out make their trophy list ridiculous. Elder Scrolls Online is one, yeah. But we're already weeks into it and nobody has platinumed that game. That's because they require you to play till you're dead, basically. Donovan Other put platinum and then did a hashtag of podcast derailed.
Don, do you know who that is?
I don't, but I guess you do. So.
Oh, nice. I'm so glad you put Don Other, yeah? That's Don Oliveira. He used to work for us on PSU. He's a great... He used to head up PlayStation Derailed, which is basically Unchained before it was Unchained. He was the host, the main host. He's a really great guy, and he's actually going to be guesting on the podcast soon. I was hoping actually he'd be on this week, but he was busy. I think he was busy with family. So hopefully, hopefully he's going to be on very, very soon. Don, if you hear this, see you soon.
Good Caesar there.
And he also, just for the reference, every time we would talk about trophies, because Don is a big trophy guy, he'd always shout out platinum. So
it is all caps.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's all about.
We're talking of other PSU favourites. Good old Duffman also commented. Andy Duffbeer Duffy.
Oh, cool.
He said his favourite platinum is on Dishonored, and to be honest, it's the noise it makes when you get a trophy, and it proves you're better than your friends. Lol. So that. We'll go with Ollie the Lawman Wild for the next one. The only thing that pisses me off, pardon the language, is when impossible trophies are put into games where you have to rely on 2 to 5 other people to do a certain task simultaneously without pausing it up, and they decide to basically crap all over it, and you never get the damn multiplayer trophies, which means no platinum. I'm a trophy hoarder, damn it. I need cooperation and a team. Sometimes being a lone wolf is just not a good idea. We'll pick one more. Go on, we'll pick Kyle Prowl because he's our man.
Kyle.
My weirdest trophy would be the Duke Nukem Platinum. I'm guessing Duke Nukem Forever. Is that my proudest? Yeah. Final Fantasy X HD Platinum, Persona 4 Gold Platinum, and Killzone 2 hardest difficulty trophy close seconds. Okay, so that's all those. I will start by saying I've got a fair few trophies, personally speaking. So at current count, I have 5,729. But I'm not really a completionist with my games. It's like, I think I mentioned a comment earlier that said, if I'm on the way to getting a platinum, I'll go for it and see where I go. I'm not going to go out my way too much. I'll give it a good crack. I just like collecting them. I don't really care about the platinum so much as just getting the numbers up. It's like earlier this year we had a little trophy tournament that Dane set up. And that got me straight back into it. I couldn't play anything properly after that. It's just like that's the negative effect it has on it, because you just stop seeing games as being fun things. Sometimes you just sort of, this is something I must conquer. This is something I must get this. And you just don't play the same way. And it took a little while to sort of get back into the normal way of playing games again, and just where it's cool if you get the trophies, but they don't fuss me that much. I just tend to play a lot of games. I think on my list I've got like 516 games I've got trophies in. And so, but then that's since 2008, I think, when they came out. It's understandable, but yeah, my average progress is about 24% on trophies, so it's not like I go for everything every time. They do add something, I find. What about you, Mike?
This would be quite easy to answer. I'm not really a trophy guy, to be honest. I don't really actively go out to collect trophies. I end up, when I unlock a trophy and get the little ping that comes up, I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. But I didn't actually know that I was going to do it. I just get them by accident. That's pretty much the story of my life with trophies.
Have you never gone for any game and thought, well, I'll try and beat this game?
I have in recent times, in the last year or so, maybe 18 months, I tried to get a certain number of trophies. I think The Last of Us, I tried to, at least in the single-player campaign, I tried to get as many as I can. The trouble is, a lot of them have the multiplayer stuff, and I'm not a big multiplayer guy, so I just can't be asked. Resident Evil is an obvious one, but even despite my pedigree with the Resident Evil series, I still can't. I don't have the patience to platinum that game because of what you got to do. It's just ridiculous. Yes. Like, go through it with a knife or whatever it is. That's just.
Our dear Adam Byrne managed to do that last week.
Yeah, well, he's a better man than me. He is. I did it in the original one, but not the remake. In terms of platinum, my proudest platinum is my only platinum, which is The Walking Dead, which is a monkey could do it because you just have to complete the game.
I've got it on 3 formats.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there we go.
I would say for me, Skyrim probably my favorite plat. It's just because I never would in a million years would have thought I'd get a plat in any RPG, because normally you got to do a stupid amount of tasks, and Skyrim especially, you had a lot of ones which were, if you went and did the wrong thing in a quest line, it could just corrupt your entire quest line.
Yeah.
And you'd end up losing out and having to start again. And I just managed to wrangle it on every single quest and do it just right. It made the long time I played it feel even more worthy. I just made me love that game a little bit more, I think. What about you, Ben?
I have no plats.
No plats. Yeah, you are notoriously lacking in plats, despite some very...
Wait, what? You had no platinums? Seriously?
Yeah, I have no platinums.
Wow.
To be fair, until about... I think it was just before my son was born, back in 2011, I had none, and I thought, well, if I don't get one now, I'm never going to get one. So I started on Legends of WrestleMania that year, because it was the closest I was on any game to getting a platinum trophy.
Yeah.
So I got it, and yeah, that was it. And then after he was born, it's like early hours of the morning, playing Burnout Paradise for trying to sort of hook him to sleep. I ended up getting that platinum. The same again with Saints Row the Third, and yeah, the next year I got like 10, and it was just you just had these. Yeah, it became quite compelling for a while to sort of get trophies, but it's just most of mine are repeats. So like I say, I've got 3 of The Walking Dead. I've got Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy twice, and because I could complete that game a million times over. It's just fun. Yeah, I mean, this year I only have 2, I think, which again, one of them is The Walking Dead season 1, so on Vita this year, and the other one was Saints Row 4. So yeah, not consistent with my plat getting, to be honest, but it's fun when you do get them.
In case you're wondering, the reason why I don't have any plats is because I know someone in real life who is pretty much a plat whore. He always plays games till he gets a platinum, and it pisses him off that I don't get any.
I come from a very platinum orientated site because I came from a trophy site before I came to PSU, and it's like, and yeah, just the figures they were putting up on there. I mean, they were the website we joined with on the trophy tournament this year. It's called PS3 Trophies still.com, and yeah, some of the numbers they put up are mental. People putting up like hundreds of trophies in the space of a week without even breaking a sweat. And it's just like suddenly you feel, oh look, my compulsion of just getting like a whole bunch seems like nothing. I'm there struggling to get, what was it? They worked out into points for each trophy, and I was there struggling to get to 2,000 points in 1 week. There's people just getting 8,000, no problem. So it's mad, the world of trophy hunting, but it's an interesting world to get into. It's like, but yeah, it's just intimidating, I'd imagine, for most people.
Yeah, I do. I find trophies satisfying when I get them. Like if I actually, like I said, some on the few games that I set out to get them, like The Last of Us, when you do, you achieve something, it is very satisfying, and I can see it becoming addictive. But if I go down that route, I'm never going to get laid ever again. So I'm not doing that. So no.
That's the worst thing. There's like guys I know who can platinum left, right, and centre, and then there's people with PhDs and master's degrees and things like that, and you're just like, and they can do day jobs and do their degrees, and they can, and then still get loads of trophies. It's like, oh,
that's mental.
Like, I know, and I'm just there thinking, well, I just like enjoying the game, so there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very competitive thing, and it's like a subculture of both PlayStation and Xbox, just achievements and trophies and all those things. It's become a very big part of it. Like most people don't really see it. I think that pretty much wraps up our feature.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty much the same when it comes to trophies. I never really did change. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'll have another crack. I'll see what Resident Evil Zero's got. But that game's that's one of the most difficult Resident Evil games out there. So, Lord, if they ask you to go through that with a knife, then just go to hell. Seriously.
As you weren't here last week, Mike.
Yeah.
Can we get you to answer last week's question for us?
Yeah, sure.
Is that last week's question was, if you could get a Terminator to terminate any moment in gaming history, what would it be?
Any moment?
Any moment, anything gaming.
Anything to do with gaming. Oh, okay. Oh God. Jesus. Oh God Almighty. There's so many things. I would terminate. I would terminate Resident Evil 5 in its original final incarnation.
Reset the bar,
because they had the original concept for that game was a hell of a lot better than what actually came out. It had Barry in it, it had zombies in it, it had a much better story. It wasn't forced co-op. So yeah, I would definitely I would have Arnie go back and terminate Resident Evil 5.
It's a good choice.
Thanks. But to be honest with you, I could probably come back in an hour and tell you 5 more. But
they started reeling off last week. So mine was mainly advise David Doak not to get involved with EA, where Time Splitters was involved, and yeah, the team working on Devil May Cry 2 just to be terminated. So,
Oh yeah, oh god, DMC2. Yeah. Speaking of DMC, I'm playing. I really enjoyed 4 actually playing it
you know
again.
what? Strangely, so have I. Despite my not hatred, but dislike of that game, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, actually, we should probably actually save that for what we've been playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's save that for a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be there in a sec. We're just going to go through the reviews now. Thanks for that, Neil. That was a cool segment. Well, first review we have is quite a big game actually. At long last, it's arrived. The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. This was reviewed by Carl Prohl. He gave it a 7 out of 10. He summarises, caught somewhere between a reverence for its forebears and an unwillingness to forego MMO traditions. The Elder Scrolls Online is a hybrid game. It's exciting and off-putting in equal measure. Interesting. He liked the deep, very character development, the well-told story that can be played solo. That is very interesting because I had no idea it had a story or you could play it solo. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And technical polish. However, he disliked the mediocre graphics, the vague and unnecessary class system, and cartoony animations, same-looking races. This was delayed by about a year, I think, wasn't it? It was originally going to come out last summer, I think.
Yeah, it suffers from Final Fantasy 14 syndrome of basically being a bit shit when it came out. And,
oh, right.
Yeah, and having to be reworked in the last year, which it has been, like, massively.
Yeah.
It's like, the original game is nothing like this now, to a degree. It's a much, much better game.
Cool. Is it true that you can actually go to all the provinces in Tamriel?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, wow. Cyrodiil is like your battle center, so like you fight for possession of areas in the game. So, like, depending on which faction you're in, you'll control certain points of the map, and it's an ongoing thing that you just like basically sign up to be part of the 30 day plus. Is that right, Ben? The sort of thing. Yeah. And so it's 30-day plus battle, where you just sort of knock your enemy back and try and take as much ground as possible, like that. That's in there. But yeah, you can do a lot of it solo. I've done a lot of it solo because me and my friends, wanted to all play at the same time, but like I got slightly waylaid with having to review and play Batman, so they're already on level 50 veteran status, and I'm still on level 16. So
all right.
But I'm happy just tooling around doing general Elder Scrolls things.
So can you actually play it like a single player Elder Scroll game if you wish? Can you do?
But there's a lot of MMO stuff in it. It obviously changes the dynamic, but I don't know, you still have that wandering around and just checking out the environment and just...
Oh, cool.
It's like with me, I started in Morrowind. And it was cool because I hadn't seen that in years. It was nice to sort of go around, see all these places. Yeah, you do sort of branch out. It was just, I sort of marked out a little when I ended up going to Skyrim because it's my favourite sort of place out of all the places.
So, sorry, that begs the question. So, like, say you go to Skyrim and stuff. Like, if you played Skyrim, do you go to places from Skyrim? Do you I recognise that area kind of thing?
It's set like hundreds of years before events of Elder Scrolls 5. So it's things are slightly different, but there are familiar sort of things. Like
that's pretty cool.
Like in Cyrodiil, you have the whole the King's Tower in the centre of the map, like that.
Thing.
And you've got the giant mushrooms in Morrowind, and it's just so many beats like that are really good. The frustration in that game does lie in that it's hard to tell where you should and shouldn't be going in certain terms.
Yeah,
because you'll have like stuff that's your level in one area, but then you'll also suddenly find, oh, hang on, this battle is a bit too much for me, like that. And the group instances are the only things you really have trouble soloing, I think, because they just seem to scale up with you as you go. I went back to do one I hadn't done since I was about level 10.
Yeah.
And I went back at level 16 and they were on my level again. And could not make it out the first room because they're just relentlessly being attacked by a bunch of level 16 enemies.
Damn.
But then, the fun of it is you can just walk off and go and do something else. But it's definitely more complex than your average Elder Scrolls game. You just there's so much things to do. Joining factions and sorting out your crafting stuff is a little different from that as well. And it's still fun. I totally agree though with the score that Kyle's given it, because it's good. It's not classic Elder Scrolls, but it's the first MMO RPG that I've actually really got into properly, and played for more than like 5 or 6 hours. So if you're not really into that genre and you kind of like Elder Scrolls, it's a good starting point.
All right, sweet. Cheers. I've always been curious about that. Thanks, man. Next up, we have Dane's review of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth. Whoa. Okay, I think that's a little typo with the... Oh, no, it isn't. It's actually written like that.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
Rebirth 3 5 Generation, I think it's called. Something like that. Yeah, that's a long-ass name and very, very oddly performed. He says he gave us an 8 out of 10. He writes, some new additions to the gameplay make this title more than a simple Vita conversion, and great for those who never picked up the original. Still, if you already own it on PS3, there is nothing that new to warrant a new purchase unless you need an RPG on the Vita or a seasoned trophy hunter. He likes the easy conversion to a handheld, and the new remake editions help make the game fresh. However, he dislikes the fact that the parts cut from the PS3 version, there's no big addition to make you want to buy it a second time. Once again, that's one of those titles that Dane reviews very nicely, I must say, but I have never played at all.
Yeah, it's pretty much a given for me as well.
Yeah, he's really he taps into those niche kind of games. Dane does, which is really cool actually, because different tastes and all that. I'm sure there's someone on there who comes on PSU every time one of those are released and reads those reviews, because it's the same for people who read Call of Duty or whatever. So there's always an audience out there. Next up, we have some guy called Neil Bolt who reviewed Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yes. Heard a lot of things about this. Apparently, there's been some issues with overheating consoles or something. Is that right?
Yeah, apparently the menus have been overheating consoles. It's true. Mine started whirring like crazy when I stuck on the menus too long. The trick is, people don't need on the menus. Play the game. So
yeah, it's funny you mentioned.
That's my quick fix for the game.
Quick fix. It's funny you mention that, because that PS4 of mine, that went off making a noise when I was on Assassin's Creed Unity today.
Yeah,
God, it was really, really whirring.
Oh yeah, fair enough. In Unity, I think it's just because it's a big game. And it's what a lot of process about. But I think it's the Unreal Engine that causes the problem, because it's not the first Unreal Engine game in an indie format that has done it.
All right.
I think because they're not a big studio and they don't have the same skills for optimizing it, something gets lost. In it. So yeah, it's that's what sort of transpired since then. It's not been a big issue, to be honest. Yes, I think Gary Bagdasarov, one of our team, had that problem where it bricked his console.
Wait, sorry, what was that? Blah, blah, blah.
Bagdasarov, sorry.
Oh, right, sorry.
So, I've made it an effort to sort of try and say Gary's name properly.
Oh no, it's just that I think I've been wondering if I've been saying it wrong all this time.
Yeah,
because I pronounced it Bagdasarov.
Yeah, I went with it last week and see if we got it right. So he agreed, so I'm guessing that's right.
All right. Oh, okay. Damn.
Dear.
Sorry.
So, yeah, they've had a lot of trouble. They've definitely felt it though. The Psyonix, the games had its issues, and they've worked very diligently to get it right. But they're still seeing the results coming through. I mean, it's like they've had almost 2 million players, 121,000 concurrent users. They've been the number one on Twitch and Reddit, number one trending on Steam. It's like, but as they say in the same light, it's like the other milestones they've had is the website's been smashed, the servers have been crushed, the forums have been killed, and 2 million lag spikes, downtime, and matchmaking problems. I quite genuinely in this case believe they didn't expect they would do as well as they have, and that's most of their problems have come from.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to see why, because you gave it an 8.5, so it's obviously worth it. Final word, Rocket League is one of the best multiplayer experiences of this generation. With single-player pals in comparison, but with a joy-riddled social chaos, Rocket League has on offer any solo campaign would. Right, that makes sense. Fantastic multiplayer, surprisingly deep controls, and a great meld of football and cars are the three plus points. However, Neil disliked the fact that single player has far less longevity. 4v4, sorry, can be a little too chaotic, and the server teething issues, which we've already explained. So yeah, 8.5. So solid game there, Neil.
Yeah, and I think it has the potential to get even better as time goes on because they're adding more content.
Yeah,
and I think it will stabilize in time. It's like that single player, it's not really essential.
Yeah.
But while there are issues with the servers, you kind of have to play it to sort of learn the ropes, unlock a lot of the stuff, and just generally get on. And yeah, it really does veer between being idiotic AI and just AI that thinks it's Lionel Messi in a car.
Right.
Yeah. I said it's the bastard child of Lionel Messi, Rory McIlroy, and what's his name? I've forgotten the name of it.
Don't go to me. I'm not up on that stuff.
Car driver, Lewis Hamilton. There you go.
Jeez, I was actually going to say Lewis Hamilton.
I was like, yeah, that is what it's like. It's like just get people like that. It's nuts. But yeah, it's a really good multiplayer game. I got a couple of complaints I think we saw on Twitter when we put the review out. It's like, how can you review how good the multiplayer is if you can't play it because of the servers? It's like, well, we did, and there is actually offline multiplayer modes in it.
It's not like the servers were like down constant, completely.
It's it, but you can play it offline with people in the same house as you. I know it's a very alien concept of a lot of people these days that you can actually play video games in the same room as each other. And play together. It's amazing. I know. And it doesn't have to just be FIFA 15.
NES did it about 30 years ago.
Yes. It's a very long-standing feature. And I'm glad the games are still doing it like this.
Hell yeah. You can't beat couch co-op or whatever stupid name I give it these days.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's a proper old school game. And I love it for what it is. But I really do think it will get better in time.
Awesome sauce. Right, last but not least, we have another Dane review. Operation Abyss.
Right, hang on.
What?
Ben? Is he there?
Ben's there.
Ask him.
Yeah, still there.
Oh, Ben, what did you think of Rocket League?
I haven't played it yet. I've been worried about overheating my PS4. But I'm not surprised that it's got so many people. As you know, it's free on Plus, so there's so many people.
Free on Plus, and it's a damn good game.
It's an amazing game. I was going to buy it anyway.
Oh, cool. Fair play. Yeah, sorry, but I didn't mean to miss you out there.
I just realised we hadn't heard from Ben in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the review. I think it's usually because whenever we ask if you played this, it's usually a resounding no. Because I never played any of the stuff I talk about here.
But in most cases, it's usually because I've reviewed it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, the last one is Operation Abyss, the new Tokyo Legacy by Dane. He gave us a 6.5 out of 10. He summarises, NIS fans will enjoy it, as well as those into first-person dungeon crawler RPGs. An incoherent user interface and story will cause issues for those without a lot of patience, but there is an interesting and funny narrative to reward those who persevere through it. He liked the story is interesting and dark, and the character artwork is gorgeous. However, he disliked the incoherent quest directions, poorly optimized user interface, and the minimum max nature of stats negates the point of blood codes. There we have it. I presume you guys did the Batman review last week, since that was obviously a big one.
And we talked about it for like 2 weeks running. So.
All right. Oh, you reviewed it as well. I actually didn't see what score you gave it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to see myself. I'm actually looking right now. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, it was 2 pages. Just tell me. I can't be asked to go through the page.
I give it 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Awesome. What did you think of it, Neil?
It's good. Has its flaws. It's like Batmobile isn't as bad as everyone makes out, but it definitely is the worst thing in the game.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that. Yeah, so it's not as bad as people say.
No, got to think of it more as it's his constant companion. It's his It's like his pet, the Batmobile. That's when it works best. But yeah, there's just too much reliance on it in certain game modes, and yeah, that's where it sort of drags down. And the story does drag a bit as a result of the Batmobile later on, and kind of ruins one of the best sort of reveals in the game, which is the identity of the Arkham Knight.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, it partly ruins it. It's just it happens to be a factor, but it isn't the only factor. Yeah, it's for me game. As I said last week, I still don't change my mind. Game of the year so far, but there are other games coming.
Sweet, cool. Yeah, we've. I saw a bit of it in action this time last week when after the birthday party I went to. We went back to my mate's house and played that for a bit. Although I couldn't see all of it because the guy's dog was practically trying to eat my face. By that I mean it was licking my face constantly and trying to jump up to me and tackle me to the ground and everything. So, but from what I did see was really good. Cool. Well, let's move on now to what games we've been playing. If it's all right, Neil, I'd like you to start just so I can my throat can recover because it gets for some reason I've had a really bad sore throat this week, so it gets dry really easily.
I know it's like literally, Mike. It's like a passing of the torch because 2 weeks ago I had it, then Ben had it last week. Coughing and spluttering, and so it's
now me.
Right, so we need someone new on next week.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I think I must have caught a chill because I was walking to my mate's house in the cold at 1:30 in the morning. So that probably did it.
Yeah, that probably didn't help.
No. Cool. Okay, so Neil, what games have you been playing?
Ooh, what games have I been playing? Oh, that's a very good question, as I say. Apart from the ones we've mentioned, like Rocket League, I played a lot of games this week actually. But Elder Scrolls was one, Rocket League was another, Batman was another. We know about all those. As usual, I play Pro Evolution Soccer every week, and so that's how it is.
Yep, I see you on that a lot.
Yeah, so it's just easy. It's one of the easiest things to play on remote play because I just know the controls so well that the slight shortcomings Vita has don't affect the way I play. Like that. So I'll just do my season modes while I'm on there. I've beaten people online playing on remote play, so I'm quite happy about that. so Minecraft again. It's like because my son is just so into it at the minute. It's like every day now I get asked. It's like, can we play Minecraft today? Can we play Minecraft today? It's like he's not even 4, and we're already on this stage. I was saying to the other guys last week, he's just getting games now and what they are. I was like, he helped me. I was saying last week he helped me with Lego Jurassic World. And yeah, he's getting it now, and it's fun. It's a fun thing to do together. It's the first game where we've really sort of bonded in a nice way on games. It's quite cute. I'm just trying to think what the other things I've played now. Oh god, so many. This is the problem. There's just so many games. I was trying to figure out like last week. It's like if I had a top 10 games I've been playing for that week.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like it started to become very difficult because there were so many. I will get back to it. There is definitely one. I'm sure I'm missing something. You know what? I didn't mention it last week, but I've been playing a hell of a lot of Run Sackboy Run, which was like a mobile game initially, which is basically one of those endless runner things where you just going along the screen trying to avoid things by just tapping the screen to jump and that. Right, but it's on Vita. And it's free as well on Vita, and yeah. It's one of those things you can just play willy-nilly, no problem. But we were going to say it earlier. Also, Devil May Cry 4, the special edition.
Yeah.
I like it more. I've actually now got further than I did when I played it 7 years ago. So that's always a good start. And some of the boss design is just fantastic.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the later one that's like that snake plant creature boss, and it's just like that was a really well designed boss. I was just like,
oh yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Is it in the forest? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like but the thing that sets it out, I think, from the earlier Devil May Cry sort of experience is you just get lost so easily. Just twice I walked the wrong direction for a really, really long time. Of course, they still throw enemies at you, even if you're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
So you just end up going all the way back and then realise, oh, hang on, I've gone the wrong way. And that's because you've missed one simple doorway. So it's like I've been playing it in bits and bobs as a result. But yeah, actually quite enjoying it, which is quite nice. If I played some of the other Plus games like Geometry Wars 3 and Mousecraft, but I played them for minutes. I think really more than anything else, it's not really for me.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting on that slightly rumoured story we had this week about XCOM being on Vita. That would be the end of me. I think it's like you won't be able to drag me out of bed or out of the bathroom or wherever I'm playing the Vita, just because that would just be the game to end all games. I said earlier in the week, I think on Twitter, that if XCOM is on Vita, no game compares this year. Even things like Metal Gear, that will be it. I'll be sorted the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I love it. But yeah, that pretty much covers all the things I've played.
Awesome, cool. Thanks for that, man. Ben, how about you, buddy?
I've been playing Fantasy 14 Heaven's Ward. And that's about it. That's about it.
It's a small list this week for Ben.
Yep, that is it. I got my gear to 180 almost and 190. I beat the new raid that came out this week. I beat it the day it came out.
Bloody hell.
That was insane.
It's insane.
Are you still enjoying the game?
Oh, I'm still enjoying it. In fact, I'm about to do the raid again as we're talking.
Bloody hell.
Because I want the loot.
You've done some very good videos for it as well.
Oh yeah, I did a guide on how to do all the floors in the new raid. I did the guide as I finished the raid on the first day.
Which you can find on our YouTube channel and on the website.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Bit of advertising.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I still can't believe I got 20,000 views. It's just insane.
Ben's review for Heaven's Ward is the most popular of this month so far. I've been very happy about that.
Yeah, it certainly has. You can't deny that. It's
it.
Yeah, quite a lot. Cool. Quite a lot of people are playing it on my friends list. On my friends list, at least, it seems to be quite popular. Cool. Well, I guess that just leaves me. For once, I haven't actually been playing much Destiny at all. I think I played it once with Steven, and that was it because I've had other things to do, to be honest.
Yeah, but you were when you were away. You were playing a certain game when you went away on the boat, didn't you?
I completely forgot that I had Wi-Fi when I was on holiday. So you saw me playing Final Fantasy VII then.
Yeah.
It actually says that I was playing that, does it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, wicked! Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, well, since I haven't been here for so long. Actually, I suppose. But yeah, I was when I was on holiday down in Cornwall. I took my Vita with me as I do every year. And literally, I planned to play through quite a few games. I ended up playing Final Fantasy VII non-stop. I started the game and I got all the way up to Nibelheim Mountains, where I'm currently I need to resume it again. I'm currently just grinding for levels and limit breaks at the moment because it's best to get that done as soon as you can, really. And I think you can do it whenever you want, but two particularly good places are the Mithril Mines and Nibelheim Mountains because there's a lot of easy-ish enemies there that you can defeat, and they hit quite hard, which gets your limit up. So, obviously to get limit breaks, you have to use one a certain amount of time and kill a certain amount of enemies. So there's lots of enemies there, and they can hit quite hard. So it's a perfect combination. So yeah, I've been on that. I finally started Assassin's Creed Unity. No, sorry, not started it. I've resumed it. Yeah, resumed Assassin's Creed Unity again, and I'm actually playing it quite frequently, which is good. I have to admit, I didn't want to admit it to myself at first, but it didn't grab me as much as the other ones at first. I didn't dislike it at all. It's just Black Flag was so good. I love the sailing element, and even Assassin's Creed 3 before it had it had some sailing in it as well. So after being spoilt by that, and Rogue as well, going to Unity felt very, very weird. It felt almost quite limiting, but once you get past that, I kind of slip back into the old school Assassin's Creed kind of like urban mentality when you're just in the city and stuff and doing stuff there, which is obviously what I liked originally because I love Twin Brotherhood especially, my favourite ones. So yeah, I'm getting back into Unity now. There's so much stuff to do there. I'm probably not going to go I almost go through 100% when I play through these games, but I don't reckon I will on this simply because I've got so much else to do. But I'm doing as much of the side quest as I can. I probably won't do much co-op stuff because there's not enough people online. No one's playing it anymore. So I know that obviously some people are still would have said on the staff they would happily do that, and that's cool. But I'll probably, I'll go through obviously the story, and I'll do some side quests and stuff. But yeah, main thing is even though I just did the story, I'd be happy. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I haven't, oddly enough, encountered the glitches and stuff. I haven't fallen through the floor. No one's eyeballs have popped out at me or anything weird stuff like that, which is kind of odd. Because I know there's been a lot of that reported. I'm guessing there must have been a patch released at some point because my PS4's forever downloading bloody updates, so it's probably installed and I didn't even know about it. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. My mate comes round and plays Watch Dogs, so I've been watching him go on that, which is really cool. Mostly him blowing stuff up with a grenade launcher, from what I remember. And I've also been on my 360 on Mass Effect 3. I started playing as a female shepherd. I think it was last year, maybe 18 months ago, and I put it on ice for a bit because I had so many other things to do with work, reviews, etc., life, and I finally resumed it. I finished Mass Effect 2 when I put it down, so I started off with 3 from the beginning with my file, and I'm now only a couple of hours into it, but I'm slowly going through that again. It just reminds me how much I love that game, and I really would love to see a HD release of that. I'm kind of surprised still that they haven't announced that. But even so, I like bringing out the 360. I do enjoy playing older consoles in general, but I think I'd rather play stuff like a SNES, a Mega Drive, or a Dreamcast, play the original games on the original consoles than, say, if I had a chance to play Mass Effect HD, I'd rather play the HD version on a PS4 rather than get out the 360. I know that sounds weird. I like playing old consoles, but I think it's just not quite the same when they're like the old classic retro consoles. I enjoy doing that because of what they are. They're retro consoles and stuff. Whereas more modern games like that, it's a little bit more convenient to be able to play them on a PS4, so you can upgrade from PS3 to PS4. But yeah, there we go. But I'm enjoying that. Apart from that, no, that's it. I think I'm probably going to jump back on War Thunder again at some point because I've been off it for a couple of months, and with the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Britain as well. So I will probably that's compelled me to get back into it a lot. So yeah. I was in London on Friday, actually. It's a shame I didn't see the fly past there. I would have liked that, but yeah. Oh, and I can talk about this because the embargo is lifted. I played Godzilla on PS4 at Namco on Friday, which was pretty good. I will actually have a preview up on Sunday. We're recording this on Saturday, so I will be publishing that tomorrow. So by the time you hear this podcast, it will be up. So check that out, and we'll have a review soon. I believe, Neil, you're doing a review of Godzilla.
Yeah, I called it a while back. So cool. A bit of a love for the old G-Man.
Cool, yeah, and yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'd like to jump back. I'm planning to go through Resident Evil 2 and 3 at some point as well. It's been a while.
Yeah, that time is actually coming again this year. I was going to wait till we had our second child because I thought, well, out of those times where I just got to sit there, so the Vita would just be there. Perfect.
Yeah. Do you play like the old Resident Evil games quite a lot then? Like
yeah, pretty much yearly. I play
wicked.
Resi 2. It's getting harder and harder every year though. So
I know. Yeah.
But at that time of year as well, it's gonna have stuff like Metal Gear out as well, and just in that space of time, I think I've got Until Dawn, Metal Gear, and Pez, and I'm reviewing 2 of them already. So it's going to be an interesting time with that and a baby.
Oh man, you're all sorted, then, aren't you? Really busy bee. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the whole autumn-winter window is it's like death to me these days. It's just because there's just too much coming out, and not enough time to do them all. I said this last time, with the birth of my son. I was like, "Oh, I'll be doomed. I'll never get to play games as much as I used to." And I still, within the first year of him being born, I put 120 hours into Skyrim, platted loads of games. It's just it gives you a new appreciation for the games, I think, because you put your time into it in a different way.
Yeah,
I'm starting to sort of lose that a little bit now, where I just play a bit of this, that, and everything. But yeah, I think that sort of honed me, sort of wrote me in a bit.
Yeah, I get you. Cool. Well, at least for Vita's handy for that kind of thing. When you don't have time to sit down and play a game for a long time, you can just turn on, resume the Vita, and then just put it into sleep mode again.
Yeah,
which is very handy.
Very
yeah.
good.
Cool. Well, that's a wrap, I think. Obviously, we're close out the podcast now. Are there any things you guys need to talk about? Ben, do you have any competitions or anything you need to talk about at all?
Not just the fact I'm going to give away 3 copies of Heaven's Ward sometime soon. It'll probably be next month. And if I get 600 friends, I'll do another giveaway. I'm at 540.
Bloody hell!
Wow,
nice one.
And I have 15 people to accept that I haven't accepted yet.
Oh wow, cool. It's weird. No one's actually added me for a long time because I haven't been here. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, I completely forgot that I had Wi-Fi on my Vita and stuff, and I had access on the holiday, so I had no idea that you guys could see me playing Final Fantasy VII.
It's like Mike's definitely on holiday.
Yeah, just on Final Fantasy VII all day. Oh, yeah, that's quality. I saw you sign on actually a few times as well. Can't remember what you were playing though.
Batman that week, I think.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. Sweet. Well, I guess that about wrap things up, guys. Contacts, of course. Guys, if you want to contact any of us, you can contact me at mike.harrodance@psu.com. You can contact the podcast in general at podcast@psu.com. Or you can contact Neil at
Nezko on Twitter, which is NEZZKO, or neil.bolt@psu.com. And also, I'm sure there's something else. Oh, yes, PSN. Son of Venom, all lowercase, one word. And if you have any questions you'd like to put out for next week, because we have a comic book podcast as well going out next week, the second edition. Me and Gary will be doing. So, yeah, if you have any questions maybe about that Batman vs Superman trailer that came out today, or just the way comics are going, or just or maybe Arkham Knight, because we'll probably spoil the hell out of that game next week. So it's going to be a good old fun cast.
Wow, my experience in comic books is 3 issues of Resident Evil, the comic book, and
I thought you were going to say the Beano.
Yeah, and no, not that, and an Angel comic. That's it. So yeah, I don't think I'll be on there. Cool. PSN. If you want to add me to PSN, which many of you have done, thank you very much for that. It's Billy_Cohen84. That's capital B, capital C. Billy_Cohen84. And last but not least, you can contact Mr. Shilbeer Hall at
ben.shilbeerhall@psu.com. Chili_UK Twitter. Chili on PSN. Chili on NeoGAF. Chili on everywhere. Chili. I am everywhere.
Chili sauce. Awesome. Sweet. Well, that about wraps up episode 82, guys. Don't forget to give us a like on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes. You can have us delivered to all your iThings that way, which is handy. Rate us as well if you wouldn't mind, guys. We'd appreciate it. Oh yes, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well. We've been quite active on social media lately, guys, and obviously some of our things like question of the week goes through Facebook as well, so keep checking it out and stuff. That way you won't miss any updates.
No, in fact, feel free to ask questions yourself, and we might even have them on the show too.
Oh yeah, do we definitely read anything else? Read anything out for sure, definitely, and email us with any questions you got. It'd be good actually to have some kind of some more feedback from you guys, so we can start reading stuff out. We will definitely quote you, give you a shout out or whatever, guys. Definitely.
Yeah. Just remember, we aren't the official PlayStation website, so don't ask us why PSN doesn't work properly. Don't ask us why you don't like the PS Plus lineup. That's not anything to do with us.
Yes, we are a PlayStation website, but we are not Sony. As much as, believe it or not, people do sometimes think we are Sony and email us. Yes.
I think last week when we did the questions, we had a few answers like that on Twitter that seemed to believe that we were a Sony.
Yes.
That's pretty good. So.
I am Sony.
We are not. I am not. I'm not Andrew House. Neil is not Sean. What's his name? Yeah, and Ben is not Shuhei Yoshida, although he does have him on his friends list.
Might be him. You don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, a minute you kind of sound like Bane with the old mic problems you got today.
Cool. Well,
Oh, I've got an idea how to end this podcast then.
Well, I'll let you end it, Ben, then, if you want. Well, with the last quote, I mean. Ben, Neil, thanks for joining me again. It's been good to be back. Hopefully it won't be a month again before I'm on the next show. It definitely won't be a month, although I'll be back on the next regular podcast. I won't be on the comic book one, obviously, but I will see you again on episode 83. Thanks for joining me, chaps. And we will see you next episode. I'll leave the closing comments to Ben.
And now you have my permission to leave.
Well, let's leave. Later, guys.
That was a good one.
Back.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.